first 2 years when I jumped into it, I was all over the shop. I did the old trick of you're so busy that you hire a first year apprentice and wonder why you start going backwards. I was wondering why I was getting so busy because I was teaching him that you end up getting busier than what you intended that hiring was going to do the opposite. Got to the end of the year, spoke to my accountant and she's like, oh, you're minus 20,000 for the year. And I was like, I've done 6-7 days a week for a full year and I'm minus 20,000. It's just like, yeah, it was a big scary eye opener. So.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Tradies Success Podcast. Here today with Jay Tuff from Fusion Electrical and Carpentry Projects. Thanks for joining us on the show, man.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having us, mate.
Yeah, Jay reached out. He's like, man, I've got to come on the podcast. I've got a lot to talk about. So I'm like, let's do it. We'll talk about whatever happens. So very excited to be jumping on today and just running through your journey into business, but also some of the challenges you've been overcoming and anything you'd like to share for the industry. So I'd love to kick it off with your company combo of trades there. You've got electrical and carpentry. How did that come about?
Yeah, so pretty much straight out of school, mate, my dad said to me, if I find an apprenticeship or study, I don't have to pay board. So that was one appealing thing for me. And the first one that came available was a carpentry apprenticeship. So I jumped at it. Did 4 years of that and kind of hated it, to be honest. I was working for a pretty toxic company that you pretty much just treat as slaves. And I knew the whole time I didn't want to continue. I just pushed through and got it done. Then during that, the whole time I was just very interested in what the electricians were doing on site, and I was like, oh, they seem like they enjoy work. Why can't I? So I was like, super keen to give that a crack, and just spoke to my dad and whatnot, and he said, just get through your apprenticeship and then you can do whatever. So by the time I finished, I was 20, and I had a mate that was working for a big electrical company, and I hit him up and he said, yeah, they're actually looking for apprentices at the moment. So I gave them a call. They sat for the interview, got the job, and pretty much as soon as I signed off, I jumped into the electrical game. So
yeah, right. Dual trades straight off the bat. Did you get any credits or anything for doing that, or were they too different?
You got the OH&S ones and stuff, so I missed a bit of that at TAFE.
Yeah.
And then that was pretty much the only main thing, but everything else was different.
Still had to do 4 years?
Yeah, still had to do the 4 years, yeah.
So you're like a doctor now in trade services, 8 years.
I like to think so, yeah.
Cool. Just staying on this topic, like what do you feel was, learning the carpentry trade, how's that helped you in the electrical field, understanding some of those things that you learn as a carpenter?
Well, the biggest thing was, mainly the framework and whatnot. You understand from pretty much day one as an apprentice. I understood like what you can and can't drill through, what load bearing walls are, and all the like how to walk through a roof and all the basic things of being a first year apprentice, which you get taught from your tradie.
Yeah.
I feel like I picked that up pretty quick jumping in electrical. I had no idea about how to wire a cable, but or any type of electrical side of things, but I understood the basics of the frames and how a house got built. So
yeah,
I thought that I picked up the electrical game pretty quick.
Yeah, cool. And then you've got into business. You've done really well in business. Can you just share with everyone, just so they've got an understanding of what your business structure looks like now, and then we'll reverse engineer from there.
Yeah, so I do have an electrical and carpentry business. At the moment, it's 90% electrical. I obviously enjoy that a lot more, and all my workers are all electricians. But the occasional odd job of knocking out a wall or doing a couple of VJ panels or any basically carpentry stuff we obviously do as well if I get involved.
Yeah.
It's just mainly electrical at the moment. We did dive into a bit of carpentry as well, but I just found myself in that same rat race that I was hating again, so kind of jumped out of it, but still doing the occasional job.
Are you finding that you're the one doing the carpentry jobs because no one else can do them?
Yeah, my boys are pretty handy, so they do know what's going on with working with me to doing jobs over the years, so they can do a lot of it. But being the only one qualified in the carpentry, it's kind of just me from on site.
Yeah. So it reminds me of response fire and electrical services. So when I grew response fire and electrical, I specialized in fire when I started that, and I actually didn't have any experience in residential electrical, and that's what I went into when I started response. And then that grew really quickly just through building relationships and all that. And then I started hiring people to be able to keep up with the demand of the electrical side, and then there was nearly no fire. And we did start to win some fire contracts when we went commercial and all that sort of stuff, but I was the only one that could do it. And so I was finding myself trying to get out of the operation and release myself from having to do everything, but I was getting sucked in to do fire jobs, and we made a call eventually just to change the
Yeah,
name to response electricians and not do fire anymore and sub it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, I know what you're talking about with the
yeah.
dual services. Cool, man. So how's your last couple of years been? Like, what's been happening for you? What have you been learning?
So yeah, the last couple of years have been massive change. But the first 2 years when I jumped into it, I was all over the shop. I did the old trick of you're so busy that you hire a first year apprentice and wonder why
Yeah,
you start going backwards.
yeah,
Um, so I did that. And then I was wondering why I was getting so busy because I was teaching him as well. So it's pretty much just passing tools the whole time, which you end up
yeah,
trying to teach him as well. So you end up getting busier than what you intended that hiring was going to do the opposite.
yeah.
Um, so then I thought it was a good idea to hire a second year apprentice.
Yeah, maybe the second year won't
Which
be as hard as the first year.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I kept the first year and the second year, and then realised it was just chaos again. So
yeah. It's pretty interesting when we look at apprentice, like just the industry expectation. Like I was the same. Like I got an apprentice first too, and you think, oh yeah, I just need someone to give me a hand so I can do my job better. But you don't realize that the amount of time and your responsibility for you to be direct supervising, having to be there every day, even like not being able to take a morning off to get through some invoices and send out some quotes without your apprentice sitting there going, what do you want me to do? So you're sort of like scrambling, like, can you just take the van and clean it, or just not be around me so I can just work on the business stuff for a bit?
yeah,
So
yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah,
yeah, very distracting. So
yeah,
yeah, that's why we always recommend getting a tradie first for that reason of freeing up that capacity so you can actually work on the things that matter, higher impact
yeah,
things.
exactly right.
So when you actually, what did you do from there? So what, obviously now you've got these two apprentices. How did you handle that situation? When did you learn, like, when did you have the aha moment? And what did you do to create more capacity for yourself and free up some time?
Pretty much I just did those 2 years of being on site the whole time with those two, um, until the second year was pretty much well into his third year, and he was enough, like well advanced enough to take on little tasks on his own, which freed
Yeah,
up the time for me to focus on getting quotes and invoices out, which instead of getting home at 5:30 every night and just spend hours and hours on the computer setting up the next day and getting quotes back to people.
yeah,
Um, wasn't until they were more pretty much tradesmen to start taking a little bit of load off, until I got the aha moment that you don't make money when you're out on the tools, and then you're so close to burnout when you're doing it all night as well, like getting quotes back, invoicing. You can't actually spend your days getting the back to people or getting your quotes out because you're just so run off your feet.
yeah,
So I didn't until I pretty much got into the office, I didn't understand any of that. I just thought, oh yeah, I need to be on site. I need to be on site the whole time. I just thought it was all part of business.
yeah, yeah. I think most of us think that as well. And it's not until in hindsight you're like, man, I didn't realize how inefficient I was. Like, so yeah, it's pretty cool to help people, see that sort of stuff before you get to that. So what else happened in your first 2 years? Like, what other things you're like, oh, I wish I knew that in my first 2 years? What's some more things like that?
Um, my biggest one was when I did when I did my apprenticeship with electrical. I stayed on for another 3 years and worked my way up to like a manager type role. It was a big company of 60 odd employees, so it was a pretty cool experience doing that. As running the biggest residential style jobs, and I was yeah. Then I was tossing and turning for a few nights, speaking to my partner, just saying, "Oh, I think I want to have a crack at doing this, but doing my own thing." And then I had a good relationship with my old boss, so I was when I had a chat to him, and he pretty much wanted me to stay on board. So he come up for a role where I could do subcontract him for 3 days a week. Um, but he didn't I didn't know what I was worth or what my rate was as a contractor going out on my own for the first time. So he offered me an extra $15 an hour than I was on wages, and I thought this was awesome. But I didn't realize I had to pay for a new van,
Yeah,
fuel,
yeah,
tax, super, and all the fun things in between. Um, so that yeah, and then so that was all going well, and then I thought it was going well, and then after 3 months, I got this bill from my accountant, which was a bass, and I was like, "What the hell's this?" Didn't even know anything about a bass.
yeah,
So then I was like, "Well, that's a bit of a shock." So that took all the company money as well as the savings. So um, yeah, that was a bit of a shock. And then I just had a chat to him again. I was like, "Mate, that's not working. I'm just gonna have to." I was starting to get busy enough anyway to do the 5 days.
yeah,
So that's when I bit the bullet and went and started doing everything on my own.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, from there that's when the apprentices come on. Once I had enough work, I was thinking I could take them on as well, and I should be able to catch up, which
yeah,
I just explained it didn't work like that.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's crazy looking back now. I had no CRM. Everything was just done on pen and paper because that's how it was done at the old company. So I thought that was all the correct way, as well as just photos. Wasn't invoicing like daily or weekly. I was invoicing a month later sometimes. So cash flow was poor.
So you
Yeah,
would invoice when you felt you had time, or when you're like, shit, there's no money in the bank. I've got to get those invoices out so I can get paid.
yeah. Pretty much when the bank got low, I was like, oh shit, I better start invoicing. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was mainly the biggest challenges, but also like just not knowing I had no pricing system, so every job was like a completely different price. So even if it was just something like a standard GPO,
yeah,
I'd just go look at it and go, oh, I think I can do it for this. I think I can do it for that. Just
yeah,
nothing in place.
yeah. And you wouldn't actually know if you were, coming in under or over because it wasn't calculated. You didn't know if you came in under the allowed time or over it, or used too much material, or profitable or not. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. I would even couldn't even tell you if I did a full house of like upgrades. I'd go, I think I made money on this one, and then yeah, absolutely no idea, and then
You're just on
I was
to the
just
next
winging it for
job.
the
You're not even
first two
thinking
years.
about it. Yeah, hoping the money will come one day in the bank.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Very, very standard, man. It's very, very normal. I think so many people, probably 90% of all tradies sort of, do that, start off like that, and they get to a point years and years and years down the track, they're like, fuck, there's got to be a better way. Um,
Yeah,
so, and in coming back, I'd love to just explore these two things that you talked about, which is, we see this all the time as well. Like old bosses don't want to lose key staff members, so they offer them, subbing at a subby rate. And by doing that, it might feel like it's security for you, but you're actually now don't have those 3 days in your week to do more quotes, get out and win new business, build relationships, do jobs in a timely manner. And it's sort of like when you're too busy to get to jobs anyway, and you fall behind on your quotes, you fall behind on getting jobs done in a timely manner, therefore can't charge the top rate without people feeling a bit sus about it. So it's sort of gets you into this false sense of security where you've got jobs every day, but you're not actually growing the business and you're not actually making money. So did you feel that yourself?
yeah, spot on, mate. I pretty much I end up securing a pretty good builder straight off the bat as well, which he was super keen on us to jump on board, but because I was set doing those 3 days a week, Monday to Wednesday for the old company, if he needed me on a Monday, I just wasn't available because I was
Yeah,
so respectful to my old boss, and he was starting to get the shits about it as well. So um, yeah, just wasn't efficient. I could only do Thursday, Fridays, but as you know, it doesn't work in with every other trade. Like if they
yeah,
got plaster booked in Thursday, then yeah,
You
it's
need to
just not going to
flex.
work. So I end up working
Yeah.
Saturday, Sundays, and
Yeah.
yeah, it just took a massive toll.
Yeah. And then the next thing that you hit was the having two apprentices. So another illusion I feel like is you feel like you've got these people there, therefore you're getting more work done. But actually it's quite distracting, and I'm sure everyone actually reflects on the amount of time it actually takes. And sometimes you go out and you do 8 hours of nothing work in the day just to keep the apprentice busy for 8 hours. And then you go home and you do your quotes and your invoices and stuff like that. And it makes you feel like you've got work on and you're staying busy, but you're not making money and you're not growing the business again because you're not able to do any work generation and build, sales and marketing and do more quotes and follow up and secure that on the schedule. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So what was the big aha moment for you in actually creating capacity that actually worked? Because the first one was like, you know, I'm going to do this jobs for my old boss because that's going to fill my week. That was a bit of an illusion for you. Then the second one was get these apprentices on. That's a bit of an illusion as well. What was the actual aha moment? You're like, oh my God, this is so good. Like I didn't realize that this was the impactful move I needed to make.
Pretty much when I hired I didn't hire him first off. He was a subcontractor, but he started his business probably 6 months after me. He did my apprenticeship with me, and he was pretty much in the same role at the last company
Oh yeah.
that we both worked at. And he decided he wanted to have a go as well at starting his own business. So he was out and he was subcontracting me probably 3-4 days a week as well. And he took so much pressure and load off me. And he had the apprentices with him, which
Yeah.
gave me time to focus on the
Ah,
business.
got your time back. Yeah.
I got my time back, and then I was chasing work. I was even on things like high pages and whatnot, and just taking on anything
Yeah.
like just a quote. Um, but yeah, from there we just ended up securing a few good builders, a few good contracts. And yeah, the work just kept coming from there
Do you think you
until
secured
we were
those builders and contracts because you were off the tools and able to nurture those relationships and win them?
yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was actually to go out and meet clients, meet builders, get quotes back within a few days.
Yeah.
And just it's so much more efficient.
There it is, everyone. That's growth. That's when it happens. You've got to create that time for yourself. And you're making a really good point too. Like it doesn't have to be a full-time tradesperson. You know, what we realized at responses, especially when COVID hit, and I was seeing everyone over here, getting locked down and they had 2 weeks off and you didn't have your full-time staff because they had COVID. I'm like, fuck, what are we going to do? Like as soon as I open the borders in WA, there's just going to be, everyone's going to get sick and we're going to have no staff to do the billable work that we need to get done. And we came up with that concept that you learn in the academy, which is the army of subbies. And it's just about having heaps of people that you call out to when you need a job done. So it's just like, hey guys, I've got a job, who can do it? Oh yeah, 1 out of the 20 goes, yeah, I can do it. It's like, sweet, you have the job. And then they go off and do it. And we can manage capacity that way as well with subcontractors. And it doesn't need to be one person on an hourly rate, even though that was really helpful for you and it worked. But it could just be a subbies taking on a few jobs and actually owning them, and you don't have to worry about paying their super and shit like that when you just give them the job, and then you charge something like shopping with this pricing system is a great way for you to get a markup and everyone wins situation.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, so you're able to build up some contracts, and with that time you had, what happened? What happened next?
So then Josh, which was the guy subcontracting to me, he was pretty much just after a full-time role, which we didn't have at the time, which I didn't think we had at the time, I should say. And I was just like, I was a bit hesitant of like, because he's probably the best electrician around. Like some of the stuff he knows are just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Um, and I was like, I'm an R, and I was like, I didn't have like a full-time role for him. So he went to another electrical company just to go on back on wages, um, which he was there for a while, and then the company pretty much went back to the same stage. I found myself back out on the tools, chasing my tail again and again, and then yeah, the one of the apprentices turned tradesman, so I was like, oh, I'll just get another apprentice again, which can help him out. So I got another apprentice, and I was like, oh, this should be all right again, which it didn't. Um, so yeah, I was just back in that same rat race until obviously in the academy, speaking to you and a few other coaches, and they're like, you need a operations manager, you need to get someone in now to take that pressure off for you.
Yeah.
Um, so then I approached Josh and said, mate, I'd love to have you back. This is a role I got for you.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Cool.
you're going to be operations manager, like it's be like a hybrid role to start with. You'll be doing on the tools, managing the boys as well as singing. He was super keen to come back. So
Yeah.
yeah, now we've had him back, and yeah, the company's the higher back to the high stages which I was at, which I'm loving again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when your operation builds and grows, every little department also the demand there grows as well. So you've just got to be balancing that as you scale out. And that's really cool. Now you've handed over the operational responsibilities to Josh, and that's freed you up to be back to where you were when you're a sole trader, put on your first subby or tradie, same guy. So
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's a pretty cool story. We're like all coming back to the same spot.
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool. Sweet. Um, awesome, man. And so, what do you reckon's been some of the biggest lessons around? Like you were talking to me earlier that some of your pricing systems, figuring that out was such a game changer for you because you're just spending heaps of time just trying to work out every time how much something was going to be with no real system, no real clarity into profitability, whether you're up or down in labor or up or down in materials. What's some of the things that you've taken away from, the academy and just your own learnings around pricing systems and why they're so important?
Yeah, so that was definitely one of the biggest things in our business. Once we've worked with the academy and built our shopping list pricing system, we've now we can go on site if it's either the staff or myself. We can go on site. All the pricing systems there. People go ask for a price on something or how much roughly will this cost? And we're like, no, we don't. Won't tell you roughly. We'll tell you exactly how much it will cost. It's right here. Bring
Yeah,
it up on the iPhone or iPad and just bring it up and can price the job on the spot. Can get them to accept it on the spot, pay a deposit, and we can lock that job in. Um, Rather than before, I was having to take photos, go on site and be like, oh, I'll have a think about it, go back to the office and how much did I quote for the last one again? How much did I quote for this one?
yeah,
Did I make money on this one? And just now everything just set in stone. That's our price. And we jiggle it
yeah,
every now and again depending on, yeah, obviously when things go up and whatnot. But yeah, everything's just so much faster and efficient now we can pretty much send a full house within like a couple of hours or a little renovation in 10 minutes. Like it's
yeah.
just
So good, isn't it?
a massive
I,
game
I
changer to the
still re-
business.
I still remember going out to quotes and being like really good. Like I spent all the time driving out there. I would introduce myself, take the first phone call, go out, see their house or their business, look through it, take all the notes, take all the measurements, work out everything, and be like, okay, cool, yeah, thanks for bringing me out here. I'm really excited about this job. Da 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 da. I'll send it through to you later today, and then shit happens and you just don't get it through that day because I don't know. After that, you went to a call out, you didn't get home till 7, had a bunch of other things that had to get done, and then the next day was fully booked, and then the next day it just didn't get to it, and then sometimes it was a couple of days and you still hadn't sent that quote, and you're either getting a message from them saying, "Oh, just wondering if you've done that quote," or by the time you do send it, you've lost it already to someone else. Amount of times that just because of that shit system and pricing, you lose so much, hey? You have
Yeah,
similar
exactly
experiences?
right. I was in the exact same situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So pricing system's been massive for you. What do you reckon's the key takeaways from putting in that system for you? Like what's been the things that you did to make it happen?
It does take a little bit of time to set it up, but once you do set it up, it just the amount of time it saves you just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like we use ServiceMate and everything's just all that pre-builds, everything's all set there. Um, there's no guess takes all the guesswork out. You don't have to think about how much something's going to cost. Obviously, there is jobs where something's a little bit different. It's going to take a bit more time, which you can add that in there. Yeah, but the main one's just pretty much everything's standard. It's all got its own price. You can send it you can send it on site or you can send it the same day. You get the quotes out quicker. You've got more of a chance of getting accepted because you're so efficient. People love that.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, just pretty much just yeah, mainly for just being so efficient with our pricing now, we can send prices straight away.
Yeah. And you find your conversions are better because of that as well?
Oh, massively, yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the same thing. I'll say I'll get it back to you within a couple of days. I'll get it back to you in a week. And yeah, sometimes I'll just like going, oh, I forgot to get a photo of this. How much does this cost again? Like
Yeah.
going back through my old quotes, going, oh, was this one? I did it for this much. Well, if I do it for the same price there, will I make money? Will I lose money?
Yeah.
But now it's just like, yeah, it's all
Yeah.
set.
The old fucking notebook thing as well. I remember having like a couple of notebooks around the place and like, what notebook did I put it in? Like I put it in some notebook and it's like, just lose control of where those notes were. And a few jobs I remember, it's like, fuck, I've lost the notes. And so I had to like try and remember the quote or call them up and just go over the job again, which is a bit embarrassing and
Yeah,
shit. But that's just the way I think of a lot of us used to run our businesses, eh? So but yeah, lots of lessons learned.
yeah. I was the exact same before I got service, mate. I was just yeah getting photos, putting notes in my phone, and then just saying, "Oh, was that job again?" I couldn't remember if it was the same job that I took a photo of a wall,
Yeah.
and then I even
Yeah.
stuffed up a few times and sent the quote for something that wasn't even related to the job, and yeah, it was just all over the shop.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah. But yeah, it just goes to show, I'm sure plenty of people listening are going, fuck, that was me too, or that is me, and that's totally okay. That's the way we end up doing our best, but there's definitely better ways of doing things. Um, I had heaps of people actually reaching out lately and just saying like, what is the academy like? I'd love to hear it from people on the podcast. Can you just, from your own experience or your own words, like how would you describe the academy to other people when you're talking to friends or whatever? It's just great, I think, for listeners to hear it from someone like yourself that's been in the academy. And I love hearing it as well because everyone has a different way of looking at what the value is and what it is to them. So I'd love for you to share to listeners, what is the academy in your point of view?
Yeah, so I saw the academy popping up on the algorithm as well for a while. I was like, oh, when I get time, I'll join, and like see the pricing and going, oh, it's pretty expensive and whatnot, but the return for investment that you make is just unbelievable. Like that shopping list pricing system that I set up that saved me that much time and like it pays for itself straight away. The people in there, everyone's so supportive. You got any questions, it's the app that they use instead of you have like your Facebook and whatnot as well, but the app that the tradies have, I just pretty much just sit on that of an Arvo and scrolling through, like just so interested in other people's stories. They ask questions, you can answer it, and some people come up with good ideas. If you've got any question whatsoever about business, you post it in that and you've got an answer. There's that many cool members in there that all help each other out. Nothing's ever an issue. All the coaching's just, yeah, unbelievable. Like if you need anything from like accounting to like we even got a vehicle the other day within 3 days just through the academy, which we were told we couldn't get a vehicle for 12 months. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, everything about it's just, yeah, changed the whole scoping of our business. And yeah, couldn't preach enough for you guys, mate.
Thanks, mate. And there's been some big changes this year because we brought in a CEO and we've been really looking at the actual member journey and value, how do we deliver value to you guys and how do we make sure we're supporting you to the exact thing that you guys need support on. How have you found those, adaptations and upgrades to the academy over the last, 6 to 9 months?
Yeah, really good. Like the first ones when I first joined last year were everyone was on different levels of their business. Like there was sole traders out there and whatnot, which is all good and well. They're all going on down their own avenues. But the best thing about it at the moment is everyone's in their own group. So we're in the Scale Force group, which everyone is on the same level in your group, and we have our 10:30 chat with Josh every Monday, and everyone's on the same level, and we just talk business for an hour. Which is, yeah, cool. So anyone that wants to join, that's thinking about it, you don't just get put in with like people that are on different paths than you are. Everyone's on the same level, and your coaches all aligned to help you grow to where you want to get to, and yeah, following all the different systems that the academy has in place. You do your cost of ops and work all that out. That was the biggest thing for our business, the cost of ops. We didn't realize how much under we were charging for our hourly rate until we did the actual cost of ops and realized that we were probably losing around $10 an hour per employee. So
Every hour.
since we've done that, the profit margin's gone up through the roof. So
Awesome. And what else? Oh, let's just talk about cost of ops, because I think it's something that not enough people do it ever. Like, a lot of people don't ever do it, but the other people, they don't do it regularly or any major changes in the business either. So you understanding your cost of operations now, what impact has that had for you as a business owner in terms of like confidence and decision making, financial understanding, lack of confusion? Like, what are some of the things that tool and that process has done for you as a business owner?
yeah, so the cost of ops was a massive eye opener for us. I didn't realize that we were only at about 75 to 80% efficient with our work, with our travel and whatnot that we were doing. So I was wondering why we weren't getting out 8 hours billable every day. And then once we done the cost of ops, we realized the amount of time we're losing on travel, as well as in between going to the wholesaler and whatnot. And you realize that your hourly rate that you're charging on site is actually costing you money to have the boys actually on site, because they're only billable for 6 out of the 8 hours rather than 8 billable hours. So once we worked all that out and realized that our hourly rate per crew had to be a lot higher, we just changed the whole dynamic of the business, of the way things run, and then you can actually profit off jobs as well. Which it was so, until I did that actually calculator, it blew my mind of the massive difference that we should be charging than what we were charging.
Yeah. Were you finding felt like you were just treading water? You're doing jobs every week, you're busy, but you weren't actually getting more and more money in the bank. Is that sort of the feeling you're at?
Yeah. I was pretty much in the rat race to try and beat the wholesaler bill by the end of the month. As long as I had more money in the bank than the wholesaler bill that come in,
we're good for another month.
I thought I was winning. So
yeah.
That was just pretty much my goal by the end of the month, was make sure I had more money in the bank than whatever the statement of the wholesaler come in was. So
yeah. So that doing cost of ops made you realize, well, if we don't increase our price, we're going to have a big problem. Did that give you the confidence to put your prices up? Because you knew at that point that if we don't, we're losing money every month anyway. A lot of people fight on I can't put my prices up because I won't win the work anymore. Like, that's just such a common thing that's said. I can't even count the amount of times that people have said it. What do you say to them?
Yeah. I was terrified of doing it as well. I was like, I'm going to lose my builders. I'm going to lose all my clients because our price is too expensive. But you don't realize until you actually do it that people understand. People understand that everything of pricing goes up. Like, we just increased. It wasn't a massive increase, but it was enough to cover cover all the boys' wages plus profit margin. So once we did that, we didn't lose one client. So, which I'm proud of saying. Like, everyone was just took it on board, and we're just fine. Like, we obviously, with our shopping list pricing system too, we have like our real estates as well as our builders and random one-off clients and stuff like that. We have our different systems.
Yeah.
But we just be transparent with everyone. This is our hourly rate. This is our call-out fee. This is so and so. And everyone just, if you're good at what you do, then you won't lose anyone.
Yeah, and people expect you need to make money. Like, and a lot of the people out there in their trade business right now aren't making money. Like, that's why you're not having any cash in the bank when you got to pay your BAS and your GST and your wholesale bills. You're actually not profitable. And so when you do your cost of ops and you figure out that you're not, you have to put up your prices. Otherwise, you just pretty much, I like to say, imagine you're just taking money out of your family bank account and giving it to people. Like, that's pretty much what you're doing.
Yeah,
because you're
spot
staying
on.
busy and you're giving your own personal money away. If you're losing money, that's what you're doing. So whether it feels like that right now or not, because there's some, liabilities that you're actually holding for other people, that's that false sense of security that you can get in your bank account sometimes where you're like, no, we've got money. But all of a sudden when everything hits you at once and you actually don't have money and you don't have enough, like you're going under into negatives, that's a big problem. And it all comes back to pricing. All comes back to whether or not you're profitable or not.
Yeah, spot on. And if you don't have that system in place, you just have no idea how your business is running. Like as I was saying earlier, like my first year, well, the first 2 years, pretty much, I was got to the end of the year, spoke to my accountant. She was like, "Oh, you're minus 20,000 for the year," and like I was like,
Oh.
"I've done 6, 7 days a week for a full year, and I'm minus 20,000." It's just like, yeah, it was a big scary eye opener. So
Yeah. And isn't it cool though? Like it doesn't take much to go from negative 20,000 to positive 200,000 if you've got the awareness first through your cost of operations and then just the confidence to go out and increase your prices and be okay with a higher price. You can really, just from one single decision to put your prices up across the board and, you're doing it it's just pure profit when you put your prices up because your costs don't change.
yeah,
Versus trying to win more work, like you're winning more work, but you're also still got a cost structure where you're not making money. So you're busier, but you're not making money. So when you put your prices up though, increase profit, it pulls away. Let's just say you had like 2% net profit margin or zero. Let's just say 2, and then you put it up by 20%, all of a sudden you've got positive 22 net margin. But it's only a 20% increase. It's not feels like, to get that 10x profit, you don't have to increase your prices by 10x. You only have to increase it by 20%. So yeah, it's pretty fascinating. You break it down.
yeah, for sure.
Cool, man. Do you have any other things that you want to say before we wrap it up? This has been awesome just chatting about your journey and all the things you've learned. I'm sure heaps of people would have got heaps out of this session. There's some really good gold nuggets in here. Anything else that you want to say to anyone before we wrap up?
Nah, just pretty much the main thing was if you're thinking about joining, just do it. The return on investment just unbelievable. The amount of knowledge and work that you get out for your business is just second to none. So yeah, pretty much just you got to spend money to make money. So any type of investments like this to join join the academy or join to something that's going to scale your business, where just going to open your eyes and realize what you're doing wrong or what you could improve on in your business, to just have a crack.
Awesome, man. That's been awesome seeing you grow. And thanks for your support and thanks for coming on and sharing your journey. It's been awesome.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having us.
See you later, guys.